Well, God, the power of podcast is super very much. Fuck off, bro. Basically, you can just by listening to like lectures, podcasts, conversations, YouTube videos in general. I know a lot of people hate on the internet for many reasons. That's why my phone's on airplane mode, is to avoid the fucking radiation and shit. But basically, technology, obviously, I say to people, yeah, like people, I seem to be quite rare amongst the people that I know, like locally, or that I've known in my life, like in terms of most people don't really seem to do it, but I'm always listening to like loads of podcasts. But I just mean, I know people do it, but not that I can find very much around me. Just only on the internet I can relate to people. But so, for example, about 2 years ago, I stumbled upon a channel called actualize.org, and it's got a website, etc. And that like kind of propelled me into the podcast landscape. And then, well, not only that, I started listening to a lot. To be fair, before even that, I was listening to Alan Watts and that when I was like 16. So, but like, I don't know, like someone it was kind of a compliment, I guess, on Instagram. He sent me a voice message. He just said at the end, he was like, "Oh, you're quite well spoken." I was like, "Oh, yeah, cheers." And I just said, "Yeah, it's just because of the podcast, I swear." And not that I'm perfectly spoken, I'm sure. And when I smoke weed, I'm often more like, have a lower vibration, more mumbly perhaps. And it doesn't mean that whole structure of the way that I have a conversation is perfect. But I think it's just my kind of like accent in a way. But no, it didn't used to be like that. So it was a lot of. I started to listen to a lot of Terence McKenna as well. About a year ago, I went through a big phase of him. Just loads. I've listened to like hundreds of hours of loads of different people. Ram Dass, Hamza, just the general personal development landscape and the spiritual landscape. Obviously, and then I make my own talks. So this would be another one. It's like starting your own YouTube channel comes with a whole host of things, like just vlogging and talking, kind of in a sense. It's different. If you make like a personal development channel, somewhat of the same sort of nature, where it's just like open thinking, kind of like open contemplation. It's different because often I film a video, and my mind gets clearer because it's like a different way of thinking. Because it's not the same as when you're just sat still. If you're explaining it to a camera, like you might do it in a different way, and often it reminds me of like things and of the way I am more, you know. Compared if you're alone all the time, then why else would you talk? But yeah, the YouTube channel comes with a whole host of benefits. But yeah, I'm just saying, you can evolve your intellect drastically as well. So when I stumbled upon actualize.org in particular, it seemed to, like, over a year of like constant listening while at my wage slave job, if I could get away with wearing headphones, then I would listen. I listen to podcasts all day, even at my job now. All day I'm listening to. Recently, I've been listening to Aubrey Marcus, Russell Brand, Leo Gura, JFK Jr. or RFK Jr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I mean, oh fuck knows. I don't know. The new president who's running in 2024 or whatever the fuck. I've listened to a lot of Eckhart Tolle before, and there's just loads of names. Like the list goes on. Captain Sinbad, Better Ideas, whatever. And then obviously I got people who are just closer to me, like Key Parks and that, and there's all sorts of content, you know. And I just grew up watching Matthew Santoro, like, videos and shit. Not, maybe it was brainwashing nearly, but I don't know, I learned, like, that's where I got my education from, kind of, it seemed, in a sense. Like, I didn't really pursue school at all, which I'm not going to get into the details of that right now. But yeah, you just when you're driving, like, you know, when you listen to music, think about all the times that you're listening to music. Think, you could be listening to the podcast, whether you're driving or sat on a bus or just fucking whatever, and you can download them and like, so that you can prepare for these spaces where it might be good. Often I walk in silence, as it's kind of like the shower thought realm. Sometimes it's good to just have spaciousness, but when I'm at work, yeah, I just listen to podcasts most of the time, and I learn so much. Obviously, it's not just about the articulation evolution, it's just like all together. Yeah, also I find they orientate you and they remind you of stuff. Like, it depends what you're listening to, obviously. If you're stupid and you're just listening to dumb shit, then obviously you're gonna... But if you're listening to a lot of these, like, high level... Oh yeah, Yaki Awakened, I've been listening to quite a bit of him. Dr. Sebi, Dr. Robert Morse, Diary of a CEO. Oh yeah, Andrew Huberman, or Huberman Lab. I've been listening to a lot of him recently. Check out his Huberman Lab, Understanding and Conquering Depression. And he's got another episode about psilocybin. He's very scientific, and I know people hate on science, but the way that he relays it, I'm like, fair enough. But yeah, well, an insight is that reality works. People think that atoms are underneath everything and they're making everything up, but actually you dream it, and you don't render anything that isn't directly perceived, so that you create the atoms as you zoom in, basically. Nothing else exists other than the now, because it's not what you don't need to. But yeah. Yeah, man. Random quote I heard earlier from this YouTuber what's he called? Soul of Jarrett or some shit. I can't remember. I reached out, I asked him if he wanted to do a podcast. I've been reaching out to a lot of people, so if you know anyone, even you watching this, hop on the fucking Instagram live with me and I'll upload it to everywhere else, because it's good to have conversations and fucking... He said, if basically psychedelics don't work if you don't know how to breathe. So, and I think that's quite important, actually. I think that's an underrated statement. Your breath is very crucial to because the breath is psychedelic anyway. And it's only because I got into the Wim Hof a lot recently. I could definitely see how that could be the case. I know it to be the case, because the breath directly like changes your level of perception and the way shit looks. It's quite DMT. Like the other day I'd done it and I was like, oh my, just the Wim Hof, I mean, sober. I literally hadn't smoked or touched nothing. It was so far out. It was crazy. I was literally just went, what the fuck? It was mad, bro. Alright, the video's over. Here's some shout out to some of my smaller local conscious artists. Yeah, you right now, you must literally go and follow these conscious rappers. You can find them on Instagram very easily, etc. First up, we got Flow Matic. Check him out, bro. He's got this conscious rap, and he'll literally... You want to get educated while you're listening to banging tunes and lyrics channeled from the fifth dimension, then check out Flowmatic. Also, we got Words, just Words with a Z. Find my Instagram, find him. He's got some conscious, intelligent bars, bruv, that will wake you up. It's food for the soul. Obviously, we got Inspector Veg. Get at Inspector Veg. He actually put a voice note I sent him in one of his tunes, so it's called Get That Health. So check that out. It's got a music video. It's pretty mad, bro. And next up we got Spectrum, but it's with an X. SPXTRM. He is literally the most intelligent fucking... he spits some like absolute truth, like some next level Buddhist, no self teaching rapper about fucking... He's literally an Alan Watts rapper, bro. So if you like Alan Watts, this guy always samples Alan Watts in his tunes, so you'll definitely like that. Come on. Next up, yeah, we got Lil Darky, Lil Darky. He's a bit different, yeah, but he actually has got quite a few conscious bars. But he does put, like, junk food on his Instagram story. So say what you will, but he still spits some next level Buddhist bars. Like he's got like a, he used to literally be called Brahman before he was called Little Darky. So that's what I'm talking about. Illuminati Congo. He's got some bangers. A lot of his music's quite weird, I think, but I like his newer stuff. Ipso Facto is a mad tune.